going on, everybody? Glide here with another Black Desert mobile video, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys a guide on how to play Raven and Reaper in the arena and also showing you their PvE capabilities. This is also, I guess you could say, a demonstration of how they will perform in the field or just combos you can use while you're out there in the field. I did get number 1 for Reaper in the Cartians tournament, so I do know what I'm talking about. I'm not just rambling off the top of my mouth here. So, as you can see here, Golden Reaper and all these other classes that I got placements in. So yeah, without wasting any more time, you guys, let's show you how to use these classes properly. So real quick, just to get it out the way, I'm gonna go over PvE first with Reaper. I did main this class for a little bit, probably about like a month or so, maybe not even that long, but I mastered it in that amount of time, to be honest. This class is really not that hard, you guys. And so for PvE, I have Doom Vortex, Death Circus, Soul Reaver, what else? Rift Slicer, Cartians Wrath, Soul Spike, and Harvest. I think these are the best skills that you could be using for Reaper as far as PvE goes. So yeah, I'll show you guys a clip of her KPM and let's move forward. So for Reaper's PvP, the skill that I'm using for her succession is Doom Vortex. To be honest, you can use either or of her skills. I think Rapid Chaos is also a good option. It's the skill where she goes up in the air and creates this zone of raining purple stuff. I don't know, but yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about if you ever played against a Raven before. I just prefer Doom Vortex, that's why I'm using it, to be honest, but just choose whichever one you like better, and yeah, that's totally on you. The next skill I'm going to go over for PvP is Death Circus. This is a very good skill. For one, she has 2 charges of this, and the thing about Reaper that makes her kind of special is that this class is kind of known for draining your target's mana points. So a lot of her skills that are in her kit are catered around to draining your enemy's MP and making them essentially not perform as well as they could. And it also hinders some classes from using certain skills. So that's the thing about Reaper. If you're wondering what makes her special, why would anyone want to play this class? Well, that's kind of a lot of people's reasons. But yes, Death Circus, this is a very good skill to be using in PvP. We have a increased movement speed on hit for 10 seconds. We got a bleed, and not only that, increase your AP, AHIB and Serid inscriptions. Just choose whichever one works best for you. Let's get into the next skill. The next skill I got for you guys is Shadow Slash. Now, in hindsight, this may not really look like a great skill because it's really not, but you got to think about it. I mean, this is a super armor skill. It has damage reduction. A skill where she cannot be grabbed is also pretty great, to be honest, because this class I feel like is pretty prone to getting grabbed. She's not that mobile, so yeah. Anyway, we have obtained a shard of darkness upon use of this skill. We have a bleed also on this skill, so that's 2 skills right now that this class has with bleeds. And increase your move speed for 10 seconds on a hit. Not really too much to say about this skill, man. It's just, I feel like, essential if you're going to be PvPing with this class in arena or even in the field. Let's get into the next skill. For the next skill, you guys, we have Rip Slicer. This is one of my favorite skills in this class's entire kit. And what's cool about it is that she sends forward basically like this projection of like her scythe forward, and it knocks down the opponent when it hits them. And this is super armored in the field, so you don't have to worry about getting knocked down or anything. But like I was mentioning before, this class is a little prone to grab since the good majority of her skills are pretty like, you know, just stationary. But anyway, regardless of that, this is still a good skill that I recommend you use in the field, and even in arena it has its uses. So with the enhancements here, we have create a shard of darkness upon use. We have a flow here for an additional attack, which I do recommend you turn on. Yes, this will decrease the damage slightly, but you're still getting more damage off anyway because you're performing an additional attack of this skill, and it also increases the max hits to 4. So totally up to you, man. I don't know, I'm not gonna make anybody do what they don't want to do. But we also have a bleed enhancement here. That's 3 skills I think I've gone over now with bleeds on them. And not to mention, also every skill that we've gone over so far reduces your opponent's MP. So this class really, I feel like is slept on just because her damage is not really that great, but it truly does have its uses. And we have Owl and Saren inscriptions. Just choose whichever one works better for you. And let's talk about the next skill. The next skill, you guys, that we got here is Nightmare. And the reason why you want to be using this skill is because, for one, this is an invincibility. Though it does not last very long, I think this lasts like 3 seconds or maybe 4. And the thing is though, when you use this and you press any of these skills down here that are listed like Soul Reaver, Harvest, or Soul Spike, you will teleport to your opponent and basically either go in front or behind them. I'm not really sure how it works. I was only able to pull it off a few times while using this class, but either way, this is a good skill to be using in the arena and in the field. We got a cooldown reduction here, making this a 8-second cooldown, and also we have increased your crit chance and increased move speed for the next 10 seconds when you use this skill. Pretty good, man, and I don't feel like there's any reason why you should not be using this. Now, I'll go over Cartians Wrath because this is actually a good skill to be using in arena, and you could actually use this in place of Doom Vortex if you don't want to use it. However, the only reason I just don't have it on, because I mostly filled PvP now, is because of, yeah, Doom Vortex is in its place essentially. So if you do want to use the skill, it is definitely a good option. Don't hesitate to use it. It does have some inscriptions here with Owl and Labreve. So yeah, man, totally up to you. This is a good skill. Let's get into the next one. The next skill that I got for you guys is Soul Spike. This is a pretty good skill and has some decent range on it. Nothing too crazy, but she does have 2 charges of this, so technically making this 2 super armors that you can spam for invulnerability, or if you just want to negate damage, whatever. Yeah, pretty good skill, man. We have a flow here. When used in Nightmare, teleport not applied. I don't know why I have that on, but you should probably turn that off, to be honest, because this will help you just get even more closer, and you just have a better chance in winning those engagements, because people are not going to expect you to teleport to them upon using that skill, really. Well, unless you just really played against a ton of Reapers before, then I guess so. But yeah, turn that off. And also, Shard of Darkness, I guess this will consume it. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, as you can see, plus 60 AP for the next 10 seconds on hit, and reduce the cooldown, making this a 8-second cooldown skill. Not too much else to say besides AHIB and owl inscriptions, and let's go over the very last skill, you guys. So for the very last skill, we got Harvest, and this skill is also very essential to be using in field and the arena. This is a super armor, but you can also make this a forward guard if you so desire. To be honest, I tell you guys a lot, unless you're 1v1ing somebody, I don't feel like forward guard is that quite useful. And mass PvP, I like, trust me, I've tried it, and you just find yourself getting knocked down more trying to use that skill with forward guard as opposed to just using it with super armor. But there are instances where it will work out in your favor. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from using it, it's just kind of my opinion. But anyway, this is an essential skill to be using in this class's kit for PvP, regardless of what you think. And create a shard of darkness upon use. Also, the skill will affect one additional target, so basically if there's 2 people in front of you, it will affect 2 people instead of just the one. And it has a bleed. Now that's 4 skills with bleed, and decrease your target's move speed for the next 10 seconds, man. Yeah, that's it for the skills. Let's go over the combos. So for the very first combo, you guys, what I usually start off doing is I'll use Shadow Slash, go into Harvest, after Harvest go into Depth Circus, after Depth Circus I use Doom Vortex, and then after Doom Vortex I'll go into Soul Spike, or I'll either use Rift Slicer. So let me just show you what that looks like for demonstration. And then you can just get out using her invisibility or just dash away. Another combo that you can do while you're in her invisibility is going into Harvest, Depth Circus, and then using either Doom Vortex, or you can even use Rift Slicer and then go into Soul Spike. So let me show you guys what that would look like. And then just dash away, or you can even get out with Shadow Slash, and then if your invisibility is back up, go into your invisibility. Here is their Cartians Wrath combo. And that is all I got for you guys for Reaper in terms of PvP and PvE. Pretty nice class. I did main her for a while, like I told you guys before. She's pretty fun to play, but to be honest, I just feel like this class needs her passive reworked to actually make her good to any standards, because just draining your opponent's MP, I don't feel like is good enough, and you need high CP to even really do anything with this class to begin with. So that's my opinion on it. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from playing this class. She is fun, and to be honest, performs pretty well in the arena in the right hands. So yeah, man, that's all I got for her. Let's get into Raven. Alright, you guys, so I'll be going over Raven now and her PvE skills that I'm using for this class. So real quick, just to show you, I have Soul Spike for the Secession skill. Oh wait, sorry, this is not PvE. This is the PvE skill setup. Soul Spike, Miasma, I think that's how you say that. We have Soul Siphon, Doom Vortex, Unholy Smite, Flashbang, Wrath of Chaos, and that seems to be it for the PvE skills that I have. To be honest, just use whatever you think is best for this class, but I found that this is the most useful farming setup while using Raven for farming anyway. So yeah, let's show you guys her KPM and then move forward from there. For PvP, the skills that I've been using for Raven in terms of her succession is still going to be Soul Spike. This is my succession skill of choice. There is Depth Circus as an option for you to use. To be honest, just pick whichever one feels better for you. I think Soul Spike will be a little more useful compared to Depth Circus, but like I said, it's totally optional, you guys. So I have the reduced cooldown effect here, making this an 8-second cooldown skill, and plus 60 AP for 10 seconds on hit. With this skill, it will consume 1 shard of darkness. So not too much to say, let's move on. For the second skill, a Raven's PvP kit that I got is going to be Implosion, and this skill should kind of like lunges herself forward, doing like a little spinny thing. It has 2 charges here, so this makes the skill pretty useful to be using in the arena and also in open field, as it is super armored in both. And gain a shard of darkness when not using shards, spend 50 MP to gain an additional shard of darkness. Not really sure how that works. I think Raven and Reaper have possibly one of the worst passes in this entire game. Just my opinion though. But anyway, we got Owl and Saren inscriptions here. This enhancement here, no enemy collision. So basically, you will not get caught onto your opponent when you hit them with this skill. It'll kind of just phase right through them or whatever. Next is increase your AP for 10 seconds on hit with this skill and recover HP as well. Let's talk about the next skill. Next skill I'll be talking about here is Soul Siphon. This is a medium to long range skill. She essentially sends out these 3 orbs that track your opponent, and I mean they literally track them like heat sinking missiles. So this skill is very good for just catching people in the midst of them just doing bullshit, or they're just not thinking, whatever it may be. This is a good skill to be using in arena PvP and in the field. So with the enhancements we got here, we have this Soul Siphon Shard. This basically just will negate some of your target's AP minus 50 for 10 seconds, and this consumes 1 shard of darkness. Not too bad for an enhancement. Also, we have another one here, extra charge. And to be honest, I don't know how I have an extra charge of this in the arena if I don't actually have this unlocked. So I don't know about that one. But anyway, another one, decrease the AP once again of your target for 10 seconds. So technically this skill will decrease your target's AP depending on the level of this. For me, it would decrease their AP by minus 70 with this and this other enhancement here combined. We have Ahib and Sarah inscriptions. Just choose whichever one works better for your build. The skill I'll be talking about now, you guys, is Doom Vortex. I already kind of talked about this a little bit when we were going over Reaper and her succession skills. The only thing that is different now with this skill is that it has some inscriptions here, which are going to be Ahib and Labrive. I chose Ahib just because that's what I prefer, but once again, if Labrive works better for you, just choose that over Ahib. So, not really too much to say about this skill since we already kind of know what it does. Let's get into the next one. For the next skill, you guys, we have Phantom Crash. This skill is very useful for engaging and disengaging in fights, and to be honest, you should be using this in field and PvP. No matter what you think of this skill, it is very essential to be using in her kit for PvP. So basically what she does is she just sends herself forward, kind of crashing down literally into the ground, making this dark aura type shit. I don't even know. But anyway, this is a very good skill and I highly recommend that you use this for PvP purposes. With the enhancement, we have Phantom Crash Shard. So basically this skill can be used again. However though, the second time you cast it, you're not going to have super armor, so be very wary of that when you're using this skill inside of the arena. On top of that, we have increased attack range by +10. We have a bleed effect here and also increase your DP for the next 10 seconds upon skill use. Pretty good skill, you guys. Not really too much else to say. Let's talk about the next one. The next skill we have here is going to be Dark Shift. This skill, to be honest, this is to me purely just a skill used for disengaging and kind of more just repositioning yourself in fights, so that way you can kind of kite a little better or whatever you're trying to do, just repositioning yourself. This is what this skill is really used for, in my opinion. I don't actually use this in any of my main combos with Raven, besides like maybe to get away, you know, when I'm finishing off a combo. But other than that, I mean, this is still a good skill. It's super armored in the field and arena, so you should absolutely use it. I'm not saying this is bad. However, this skill is very situational and you should really just try to save this for when you're trying to disengage in fights or get away from your opponent and reposition yourself. Now the next skill we have here is Wrath of Chaos. This skill works very oddly in the arena, I would say, because there's times that I've used this and there's people like literally using their skills on me, on top of me, or through me, whatever, and I don't get CC'd while I'm using this. Only sometimes though, this isn't all the time, but I've noticed this skill has like some type of like secret super armor or something. I don't know, man. But either way, this is a very great skill that you should be using in arena and also in the field, because for one of his damage, this is probably one of her highest damage skills in her entire kit. So I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer right there already. We have Seret and Labrive inscriptions. I'm using Seret. We also have a flow here. Gain 1 crow upon using other skills, up to 4 Wrath of Chaos damage, plus 12.5 per crow. And if you hold the skill, it will use the additional 4 crows to teleport strike and create a crow zone, whatever the hell that means. Okay, so we also have a burn here and increase the range of this skill by 10% once you unlock this enhancement here. I don't have it, but you know, it's okay. I think that's all the skills that we need to go over here for Raven. Obviously we got the buff, and then once again the passive that I think is just completely dog shit is the same for Reaper. So yeah, nothing too special to look at here in terms of the passive. And if you're one of those people who is playing a class and you're like, oh, you know, I want to play this class because it has a very good passive that helps them in fights, well, this might not be the class for you, because this class's passive is quite literally fucking useless. So that's just my opinion. Some of you may disagree, but anyway, let's show you guys some combos with Raven. So for the very first combo, you guys, essentially what you'll want to do is use your first 2 charges of Phantom Crash, and to be honest, you don't even have to use the full 2. You can save the other one for later and just use the first charge of it that's super armored, and then after that you'll go into Implosion. After Implosion you use Wrath of Chaos. After Wrath of Chaos, go into Doom Vortex, and to finish off your combo and to back out and reposition yourself, you'll want to use Dark Shift, and I'll just show you guys what that looks like for demonstration. And that will be the very first combo. This is pretty much like the first combo, just more so a reiteration of it. So this is what it'll look like. And that's the second combo. For the very next combo I got for you guys, this is where you'll be using Soul Siphon to catch your opponent off guard when they least expect it. And once you do hit them with Soul Siphon, what you'll want to do is go into Doom Vortex. After Doom Vortex, you'll use Wrath of Chaos, and then you can use either or Implosion or Soul Spike, and then exit out of the combo with Dark Shift. And I'll just show you guys what that looks like for demonstration. And that will be the third combo. So this very last example I got for you guys is just how you can incorporate her Secession skill into one of her combos. So it'll look a little something like this. Well, you guys, that's everything I got today for Reaper and Raven in terms of PvE and PvP in this game. Honestly, both of these classes are not really that bad. It's just their passive doesn't really make them that useful in any circumstances in this game, not even really in mass PvP, unless you just build a whole bunch of PvP on hit damage taken imprints on your builds. I don't know even if that will do something for you, but that's really the best use I can think of with this class, is just building a bunch of PvP and on-hit extra damage imprints to make it actually useful and do some crazy damage. But either way, make sure you guys leave a like. If this video was helpful, consider subscribing, as I do continue making updated guides on a lot of classes in this game and showing y'all how to use them in the arena and field and their capabilities for PvE. I will catch you guys in the next video. Enjoy the clips and peace.